We were absolutely thrilled to have the Pride of Baltimore here this weekend, here in early June. You know, Havre City, Havre de Grace always has that nautical maritime connection. I mean, going way back to our founding. And you even look at the construction of the Tidewater Canal that went from here up to Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. There's so much ship traffic coming up from Baltimore, coming up from Virginia, coming up from the Atlantic Ocean. If you had a picture from the 1800s, you would see hundreds of ship masts out in our harbor. But now today, this weekend, you get to see 2 masts. It's from the Pride of Baltimore.
We're so excited. Harford County, the 250th. I mean, it's a big year. We're super excited to be a part of that. The thing about Pride is that it sails all over the place. So people always want the boat to be home. They want the boat to be in the Chesapeake Bay. But part of our mission is actually to be abroad. So we go to the Great Lakes, we go to the Gulf of Mexico, and we serve as an ambassador to bring people back to Havre de Grace, to bring people back to Maryland. So we serve as that ambassador. But we come here because we love coming to Havre de Grace.
We love having the Pride of Baltimore here in the city of Havre de Grace. With the connection we have to the river and the bay, the citizens come out, the visitors come out throughout Harford County and Cecil County. They love to see it. It's just, there's something about the Pride of Baltimore that just takes you back to that age of wooden ship.
So Pride of Baltimore II is now 35 years old. It's gone over 275,000 nautical miles. So several times around the globe in that distance way. She's been to Europe numerous times. She's been to East Asia, China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and everywhere useful in between. What for? To just say, we're proud of our history, want to share it with you.
It was really cool to pull up to our dock here in Havre de Grace and have everybody on the dock waiting, you know, with their cameras out. And it was so casual. And I was like, hey, we're gonna throw a line over. And you know, people of the community were like, oh, can we pull it in? Can we help you? Like, everybody was excited, and, you know, like, it was a really nice dock to pull up to. Like, everybody, what an awesome community. Everybody was great.
In particular, the Pride being one of the most wonderful state resources, we partner with them in terms of visiting and getting out the education about our area. And what we love about the Pride visiting is it gives the community an opportunity to actually get out on the water. So living in a waterfront community does not guarantee that you ever get out on the water. If you don't own a boat or have a friend that owns a boat, you may only have water views. So it's just so valuable. We think of being able to help the Pride come and visit because it allows not only that water access, but it also highlights the important national history that has occurred here.
When you walk onto the ship, the first thing you're gonna see are ropes or lines everywhere. And when you look at them, you're like, oh wow, there's so many. But what you don't realize is that every single one of those lines has a name, it has a job, it has an entire life cycle. You'll see sliding hatches that are varnished, and those are your way into the inside of the boat. So there's a sliding hatch for the forecastle, which is where most of the deckhands live. And then in the middle of the ship is a bigger cabin house with a sliding hatch, and that goes down to the main salon, and the galley, and the guest crew cabins where our guests stay when they come with us. And that's like the biggest compartment in the boat. The aft cabin has a big cabin top, and that slide hatch goes down to our navigation station, as well as the captain, second mates, and chief mates bunks. So that's kind of like the brain of the ship.
And so it's a friend-making device, unique in the country, unique in terms of a town doing it and a state doing it. So it's a put the best foot forward, and what a device. She's attractive, and she sails. She functions.
Oi. 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 2 feet. 2 feet. What? Hold. That's why you're top. Coil and hang braces.
What we're thinking about right there.
So our top yards here, they go all the way around.
Okay.
And so typically when we're at dockside, we brace sharp to showcase how sharp we can get the foretopsail forward into the wind. But with the wind coming across the beam right now, we're reducing windage by bracing square. Okay. So the wind's it's gonna be the least amount of wind resistance.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
They are a floating museum that helps interpret the regional significance throughout history here in the area.
She's a really amazing vessel.
So Maryland today is, and since the 70s with the first boat, has been sharing this pride. And if you go to the effort to sail thousands of miles or hundreds of miles or even only 30, 40 miles, what is the reception? Well, we're so proud that you brought it here.
Pride of Baltimore and the city of Havre de Grace, I think, have a wonderful relationship, and we always welcome them here every time they come here.
Harvard 250 is turning out to be an amazing celebration of the founding of Harford County 250 years ago in 1773 and extending into 1774. So we began with the Harford Showcase at the community college. In June, we've had our Joyful June celebrations. We've had the Pride of Baltimore here. We've had the Legacy Farm events where we recognize farmers who farms in the same family for 100 years or more. We celebrated Juneteenth, such an important part of Harford's history as well as the country's history. And finally, we had the Maryland Dove in Havre de Grace. So we had a great and joyful June, and we're looking forward to the rest of a summer of fun. And then we end on August 19th with Harford 250's Night at the Ballpark, where we celebrate Harford County's sports heroes over the last 250 years. And then we'll have fireworks at the end of the evening, because everyone agrees if we're going to have a celebration, we got to have fireworks.